You grab your keys. Maybe you say goodbye out loud. Maybe you just think it. The door closes behind you. And right now, on the other side of that door, something is happening that most cat owners spend their entire lives never knowing about. Not because it's hidden, because nobody ever told them to look. I want to show you what your cat actually does in the hours between that door closing and the moment it opens again. The real version, the documented version, the one backed by researchers who set up cameras and cortisol monitors and behavioral tracking in real homes with real cats whose owners had no idea what they were about to discover. And I'm going to tell you about one specific thing your cat does in the hour before you come home that stopped researchers completely. Because it shouldn't be possible, and yet it happens consistently in cat after cat after cat. We'll get there, but first, let's start with the moment the door closes, because what happens in the next 15 minutes is not what you think. 1. The first 15 minutes. The popular version of this story goes like this. You leave, your cat finds a sunny spot, they sleep for 8 hours, they wake up when they hear your key, end of story. They're fine. The cats. Here's what actually happens. In the minutes immediately after you leave, most cats began moving through the house in a pattern researchers specifically describe as searching behavior. Not panicked, not frantic, cats are too composed for visible distress, but systematic, deliberate. They go to the chair you always sit in, the side of the bed that is yours, the spot on the couch that holds the deepest concentration of your scent. They are not exploring. They are looking for you in every place you have ever been. And while they search, their cortisol, the stress hormone, is measurably elevated. Researchers have documented this. Your cat's body is in a mild but real stress response, simply because the person whose presence defines safety in their world is no longer detectable anywhere in it. They check every room, every surface you touched that morning, every space that carries the chemical signature of your recent presence. And when every room comes back with the same answer, not here, not here, not here, they settle, not into contentment, into something more complicated than that. Your cat noticed you were gone, immediately, at a cellular level, before they finished checking the last room. 2. The long middle hours. After the searching ends, most cats find a resting spot, and almost always it is somewhere that carries your scent strongly. Your chair, your side of the bed, a piece of your clothing left on the couch. They settle there, but the sleep they fall into is not the sleep you see when you are home. Research comparing cat sleep in the presence and absence of their bonded owner found something consistent across multiple studies. Cats alone sleep lighter, they wake more frequently, they spend significantly less time in the deep restorative sleep stages, the ones that actually repair the body and regulate the nervous system. Your cat's body knows the difference between safe sleep and waiting. What happens in those middle hours is something behaviorists call a monitoring rest. Eyes not fully closed, ears still rotating slowly, scanning. Body still, but not surrendered, available. Because through everything, through the light changing, through the building making its sounds, through the long quiet stretch of the afternoon, your cat is running one continuous background process. They are listening for you. Your specific footfall on the stairs, the sound of your car, the rhythm of your keys, the way the building sounds different when you are approaching it from outside. Over months and years of living with you, your cat has built an acoustic profile of your return. And every sound that passes through the walls of that home, every car, every door, every set of footsteps gets evaluated against that profile. Is that them? Not yet. Is that them? Not yet. All day, while you are in meetings, while you are eating lunch, while you are somewhere else entirely and not thinking about home. The question your cat is quietly asking all day long is whether the next sound they hear is you coming back. And now we get to the part that stopped researchers. In studies tracking cat behavior in the hours leading up to owner return, something was documented that the researchers initially had no framework for. In the hour before their owner arrived home, before any car was audible outside, before any footstep was detectable, before any external signal of any kind existed, many cats shifted. They moved from their resting spots. They relocated toward the door or toward the areas most associated with the owner's arrival. Their activity increased, their grooming intensified. They were preparing for something that had not yet happened and could not yet be detected. They were getting ready for you. The explanation that makes the most sense is circadian. Your cat has internalized your schedule so completely, the departure time, the return time, the daily rhythm you follow without thinking about it, that your nervous system begins anticipating your return before any evidence of it exists in the external world. You are so embedded in the structure of how your cat experiences time that your return is something their biology prepares for in advance. Not as a trick, not as a trained behavior, as a neurological fact of how they have organized their internal world around yours. In the hour before you come home, before you have done a single thing to signal yourself, your cat is already moving toward the door, already orienting toward the moment of your return, already, in the only way their biology knows, coming to meet you. That is what researchers call anticipatory behavior. What I call it is simpler. That is your cat loving you, quietly, precisely, an hour before you even turn on your street. And if that just landed the way it always lands for me, hit that like button right now. It helps Animora CodeX reach more people who love their animals and deserve to know this. And subscribe if you haven't yet, because the next part of this video is where it gets even more personal.
4. What the greeting is really saying. You open the door, your cat is there, or they appear a few seconds later, or they greet you and immediately walk away. Whatever they do in those first 30 seconds is not random. It is a report, an honest, unperformed, completely accurate account of what the day held. The cat who presses against your legs hard, who weaves insistently around your feet, who vocalizes more than usual, who seems almost frantic in the contact they're seeking. This cat had a harder day. Something felt different in the house. The waiting was heavier than usual. They need the chemical reality of your presence to recalibrate their nervous system. They are not being needy. They are telling you something true. The day was harder, and they are glad you are back. The cat who appears a few seconds after you enter, slightly soft and slow, eyes a little heavy. This cat found their way into real sleep, the deep kind, the restorative kind that is harder to access when the person they are bonded to is not in the building. Your arrival pulled them out of the best rest they managed all day. This is a good sign. The bond was secure enough that eventually the body could surrender. The cat who greets you and then immediately turns and walks away, this one confuses most owners. They think indifference. They are almost always wrong. This is a cat whose response to your return is emotionally significant enough that they need a moment to process it. They have confirmed you are back, they have read your chemistry, they have registered the reunion, and now they need 30 seconds to integrate it before they come back to you, which they will. They are not leaving, they are landing. Every greeting is honest. Your cat does not perform for you. What you see in those first 30 seconds is exactly and only what the day was. 2 things that actually help. This is not meant to make you feel guilty for having a life. It is meant to give you information, and information is only useful when it becomes something you can do. The research on what actually makes a difference for cats alone at home points consistently to 2 things. The first is scent. Leave something that carries your body chemistry in the space your cat uses most. A worn t-shirt, a pillowcase you have slept on, unwashed. Your natural body scent, the deep molecular chemistry of you, has been shown to measurably reduce cortisol in bonded cats. Your smell is not nothing to them. It is, as we have established, a primary signal of safety. In the absence of you, it is the closest thing to your presence that the empty house can hold. Leave it for them. The second is quality of time over quantity. 20 fully present minutes on the floor at their level with genuine play that engages their predator instinct does more for your cat's daily well-being than hours of you being home while your attention is somewhere else. Your cat has been waiting all day for you specifically, for your attention, for the specific experience of being with the person their whole internal world is organized around. When you come through that door, be there fully, even for just 20 minutes. They have been waiting a long time for exactly that. Tomorrow morning, when you reach for your keys, you are going to feel the door differently, because now you know what happens on the other side of it. The searching, the monitoring rest, the long, quiet hours with one ear always turned toward the sounds of the building, the hour of quiet preparation before you even pull into the street, the greeting that is really a report. All of it happening every single day in that house with that animal for you. They built their whole day around your return. They organized their experience of time around the fact that you come back. They sat in your chair and pressed into your scent and listened for your sound in every noise the building made. And when you come through that door, in the only language their biology speaks, they are telling you that you were worth every hour of it. If this video gave you something real today, hit the like button before you go. It means everything to this channel, and it takes 1 second. Subscribe to Animora CodeX if you haven't yet. Every week, we go deeper into the hidden life your cat is living right alongside yours, the things happening just out of sight that most people never find out. You found this one. Don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.